Got Twinkies, we'll play on some grass and dirt. But turn down the volume on Dick and Bird. Fuck Dick and Bird! Fuck Dick and Bird! St. Paul admitting the law and life, and hitting rock bottom, drugs in the ex-wife. Fuck Dick and Bird! Fuck Dick and Bird! Fuck Dick and Bird! Fuck Dick and Bird! Fuck off! Shit.
Hello and welcome to this thing we call Minnesota Foul Play-by-Play. I'm your host, Anthony Variano, and I'm joined, as usual, by the brothers Haas, Michael and Bradley.
Skull, baby.
Still at work in a tie and a cap that only I've ever seen Irish newspaper boys throw newspaper.
Hey, German Polacks can pull it off too.
And we've got our favorite co-host, guest co-host, Tyler Kova. Tyler Kova of Nova.
Hey, yo, boy.
He's here to talk draft day with us, but before we get to draft day, we're doing this the right way. Finally, for the first time ever, I get to do an AEW Dynamite recap instead of a precap. This is as it should be. So, what a way to start the show. As usual, Orange Cassidy, my guy, starts the show by defending the AEW International Championship against Bandito. His 20th straight defense of that title, the most by any man in AEW.
It was almost like it was scripted that way, Tony.
20?
And I was thinking the same thing, Mike, because
I had to get 20.
I can't believe I got Michael on the show and he actually watched the show. This is incredible, Brad. I love you. I love you to death. But yeah, I was thinking about when he's going to lose that title. I'm thinking Wembley Stadium, London. That would be the time. The International Championship, first time in London. That's how I'd write it. Anywho,
you got to talk to the writers.
I feel like I could write this show. Anyways, Jade's is the only wrestler in AEW who's got more title defenses than Orange Cassidy. And she actually looked really good tonight. That's because Taya Valkyrie made her look really good tonight. Jade did do a superplex. It was the first time I've ever seen her climb the top rope, and she executed that pretty well. But how about Taya Valkyrie almost taking Aubrey Edwards down the road to Valhalla, huh? Oh my God. I thought she was going to take that pop. Brad, what did you think? Was Aubrey about ready to take that pop?
I think so. It was going to be a pop.
She's a gamer, man. I love Aubrey. I would have loved to have seen her taking it, but that's a tough thing to ask a ballerina to do. Former ballerina, folks. That's what she used to do. Now she's a referee for professional wrestling.
She dances in my dreams every night, Tony.
She's a great dancer. She uses her legs very creatively when she is breaking up. When people have their hands or legs on the ropes, she likes to kick them off with her legs. So how about that Pillars tournament, which I knew never was going to be a Pillars tournament. MJF pays Sammy Guevara to help him win the tournament, and then lay down at Double or Nothing. But yeah, I mean, it was a beauty of a move sending Darby Allin a skateboard in the middle of that show and Sammy taking the dive. I love that. Every time that happens when, the referee doesn't see anything happen and then, there's a guy hurting that it never took a shot. So then Guevara wins the tournament, but of course Tony Khan sets up the 4-way match because that's the way it was going to be from the beginning. I mean, you have to do it that way. So Double or Nothing. There's no way that tag team ends up with anything other than Darby Allin and Jungle Jack Perry winning that match. So it's going to be a 4-way match for the title, and it's going to be MJF probably winning the title, and it'll be fun though. And then in the end, we got the Young Bucks bringing the super kick party, saving Kenny Omega after Konosuke Takeshita gets the win over Butcher and the Blade without Bunny for some reason. I was wondering where the Bunny was. What an execution of the paradigm shift by Kenny Omega. The man stands on his head like nobody I've ever seen, besides maybe Rey Fenix. And Takeshita takes a screwdriver to the face. To the face! With that said...
Tucker Carlson standing on his head right now.
Tucker Carlson, and it sounds like he's getting ready to run for president.
Tucker the fucker.
As Donald Trump is being accused of rape and taking the stand to defend himself in that case.
It's not rape. Okay, anyway, go on.
It's a day before day one of the 2023 NFL Draft. And that's why we've got my boy Brad dressed to the nines, including the hat that I gave him after I renounced my Vikings fandom after the Lions beat us handily in the playoffs.
Does that happen every season with you,
the
Tony?
Lions? No,
Or the Giants.
Yeah.
I immediately pledged my allegiances to the Lions. That's who it was.
Yes,
yeah,
that's correct.
I still kind of am a little pissed off that I'm back on board and they got Brian Flores to bring me
What
back
they
on
do,
board.
they suck you back in every time.
God, I hate them. They've never done anything for us except the greatest goddamn single day in franchise history was the drafting of Randy Moss. So this is the only thing that we as Vikings fans have to look forward to. It looks like every draft board that apparently doesn't do trades in their mock drafts. Nobody has like a first round trade in their mock draft. So they've got this Kalisha Cansey, the defensive lineman from Pittsburgh. That's the guy that they have us taking at 23rd. Any thoughts on this?
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen, right? Yeah, all of us either expect us to move down or move up, correct?
Right, they won't stay there. But if they did get him, he fits perfectly.
I hear his arms are a little short for a defensive lineman, and that's the only drawback of him.
That D's gonna move so fast that he's got that first quick step. Like all he's got to do is make someone get on their back foot, and then anybody else, whoever else is blitzing, they're gonna hit that hole so quick because he's already lost.
Right, and another guy that will bring inside pressure too, capable of doing that. So I mean, Brian Flores has got to.
They don't have to be huge.
Yeah. That's a good safe pick. At 23, you're not reaching for anything. He would fit in. Me personally, I'm thinking quarterback or cornerback. You know, there's a couple guys that the Porter kid from Penn State, the Forbes kid from Mississippi State. They're both decent. You know,
wait on Forbes.
I see Tyler shaking his head. What do you got, Tyler?
Porter probably be gone, but the other guy, I don't think that's a reach there. He's so small, just tiny. He's like 160.
Well, let's talk about the QB situation.
He's a grinder. He's a Braven, I think, but like one of them stuff guys.
Just a sec there because you mentioned Porter's name. God, I hope he could fall to the Vikes. I would love to see him in the purple coat.
And I'm just going off of a few things that they read, depending on what the quarterback situation is.
Right. Well, let's talk about the quarterback situation. Is if they're going to get a quarterback, they're going to have to be probably at 11th at the least in order to get one of the quarterbacks in the first round.
You give up too much. Don't do it.
I agree.
We have 5 picks. We don't do it. If in a perfect world, Anthony Richardson falls to us, or he's a couple picks away.
If he's at 11 where the Titans pick, then you might think about it. But no, I still don't want Anthony Richardson. I think I'd rather have Will Levis.
I don't think I want either one of them.
Okay, well, and we're all agree, then we should trade down.
I do like the scenario. If we're going to get a quarterback, I don't even really like him, but it would benefit us in getting a little bit more draft capital in this draft. I saw some things for trading for Trey Lance, where we would swap first round picks with San Francisco, do a bunch of other swapping, get more.
Tyler is showing an approving finger. He's pointing at you with an approving finger.
That one.
That's what he wants.
I wouldn't mind that either.
It's got to be with Kirk though, because you dump that $28.5 million dead cap next year. If you trade him by June 1st, Kirk's got to be a part of that.
Sure. And you'd expect him to be going to San Francisco.
Right.
San Francisco, too much would have to work out for that to happen. You know, they got to find money and stuff like that, kind of like we would, are doing every year because we have Kirk Cousins. Trey Lance, I don't think with this team we put him in right away. Give him some time and see if Kirk Cousins is doing good and then we feel comfortable and we're a mediocre team. Kirk has trade value. San Francisco's kind of mediocre.
Yeah.
San Francisco, we got a quarterback to help you get to the Super Bowl now. And, You do a double
You're going to
pick.
wait to the trade deadline to send Kirk Cousins a rental to San Francisco? You think that's got trade value? I really don't think it does.
No, at least
It depends on if they lose another quarterback before here and then.
Do you really think Brock Purdy's the answer? I mean,
He wasn't that far from the answer last season. I mean,
yeah.
That's all I got to say about him. Like, he was good enough. He was good enough.
Injury, I agree. I'm just saying.
If he's healthy, he's probably losing the Super Bowl.
The only way I do the trade, though, is Cousins stays with us for this year. I don't want to start Trey Lance next year.
Nobody does. Not even San Francisco wants to.
I do. He's a Minnesota kid. Bring him home. Bring him home. He's a Minnesota kid. Come on.
Just
too
because,
perfect.
hey, that only works for hockey players. Come on. Just because they play football here don't mean they're good. Adam Thielen is the exception to the rule, and he's not good no more.
CJ, come on, hammer.
I'm just saying, we had an episode right after we got busted out of the playoffs, and we already started talking about draft and shit like that.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson
I was the only one who wanted to trade for Trey Lance. At least some other people are jumping on the bandwagon.
I will never jump on that bandwagon, sir.
We don't have to give up much to get him, and he's fucking cheap. And then if he turns out to be good, his extension's going to be a lot cheaper than fucking anybody else out there.
The only reason I like the trade now is because I don't like any of the quarterbacks in this draft as a number one.
You don't like Will Levis's arm? His arm talent is unparalleled in terms of like what's available in the draft.
We don't.
Do you remember
like
Jamarcus Russell? His arm was awesome too.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it's such a gamble. It's a gamble.
No, it's always a gamble. It's always a gamble, unless it's Peyton Manning or even fucking nobody was sure about Aaron fucking Rodgers, for Christ's sake.
Yes,
Brett
but
Favre, Tom Brady, like all these people, fucking Pat Mahomes. Nobody really knew.
But so Tom Brady was drafted way late. They didn't move up to get him. I'm not moving up and trading away assets from next year to get any one of these quarterbacks. Right. If you're lucky and they fall like a Teddy Bridgewater situation,
bottom of the 100%,
you're taking one of these.
If they're there at 24, you're like, oh, Anthony Richardson, hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never happened.
Never going to happen. Yes. Yeah, exactly. All right. We're not getting a quarterback. We can agree on this. All four of us can agree we're not going to be
in the first round. Not in the first round. There's third, fourth round quarterbacks you can take and then just beat.
Who?
The kid from UCLA, the kid from BYU, kid from Stanford. They're all third, fourth round picks that are.
Well, they're also speculating that the quarterback from Tennessee, Hendon Hooker, could possibly be there. There's another. I don't like him. I
necessarily don't mind him.
I don't mind him, but
him there.
That's what the Vikings have to do then. They have to either we're going to rebuild for a year or two, but that's not what they do. They're not rebuilding.
No, so how does actually I pose a question to you then. How does the Hooker at 24, how does that not fit the same way Trey Lance would? You've still got 1 year left of Kirk Cousins. Hooker's no fucking spring chicken. Dude's fucking getting kind of old, which is kind of nice. So like next year he'd be stepping in. He'd be like 27, 26, 27 next year. So
I think the perfect scenario is you trade back that 23 and you get him early second round. You get him there. If that happens, I don't know if I'd take him at 23. Early second round would be beautiful.
I mean, like as far as like right now, I don't know who my go-to guy is if they're there. I read speculation that like the wide receiver from USC, Addison, there's possibility depending how things go, he could fall. He's a stud. I mean, like that. Do you take him? There's your number 2 wide receiver /3. With KJ Osborne. I can't
even believe we're thinking about offense right now when we have no defensive backs on this team.
Offense is fun.
Yeah, offense is more fun. Here's another day one fucking scenario question for you guys. If by some weird chance Houston does something stupid, like
everybody's not take a quarterback.
Richardson. Well, no, they're going to take a quarterback, but everybody's hyping up Richardson. Let's say they fucking gamble on him, even though he's an athletic freak. He hasn't done anything yet on the football field.
Yeah.
If fucking Stroud is there at 3, do we sell the fucking farm to Arizona to get CJ Stroud?
That's too much to give up.
No.
We don't. I mean, unless
even he's not a sure thing.
The only way you do that is if they want Daniil, Z,
right? Something
Cook.
You want to get rid of.
Cook. We don't have the picks to do it, and you don't sell years later draft picks. You don't sell your future for it. I mean, you could.
Actually,
it's not a terrible idea. You could.
If you can get something for Cook on draft day, you're going to.
We're going to get
he's gone.
Pick for him.
I'll guarantee. I almost guarantee you he ends up with the Miami Dolphins this weekend.
That would be my yes. I would
and
agree with that entirely.
I think
I
we'll
would
get
bet on
multiple picks. And when it comes to the 3rd round or maybe even the 2nd round, we do a swapping of picks or something like that, and maybe
that could be fun.
Pick.
Yeah.
Here's another thing, real quick. Another thing, Lamar Jackson's talks have slowed way down. If you watch any football talks, they've slowed down. They went and signed Odell Beckham. Okay, he's gonna sign this franchise tender. No, nothing. Maybe, man. I'm hoping. Maybe we have fireworks tomorrow. Maybe. Just
those would be the best fireworks, right? There would be nothing better than ending up with Lamar Jackson and losing all of your draft picks, right?
Lamar though, he's got to take the deal.
My last question to pose to the group: we're talking about how you can't fucking ever sell the farm and then hope to compete if it doesn't work. Who's the best team in the NFC right now?
The LA Rams.
San Fran.
The Rams did exactly that. They sold the farm and won a championship.
Right.
Fucking Niners sold the farm to get Trey Lance, and that didn't work out, but they're still the best team in the NFC.
Yeah, but because
they filled all their other holes first. They made sure everything else was great.
They drafted really well for a long time.
You look at the Vikings on paper, I don't see one gap we have or one hole, man. We
don't have a Deebo Samuel. There's nobody out there that has a Deebo Samuel. There's a hole. They've got a better tight end than us. And
that's questionable.
No, it's not. It's not. Yeah. It's not.
Hawkinson is fucking better than their tight end now. Numbers prove it.
Yeah, did Kittle ever go to a fucking hockey game and drink beer with all the fans? I don't think so.
Any of us ever could. Yeah, that's the one thing he's got on Kittle is Kittle definitely drinks beer faster. I know Kittle takes his kid to the beauty league, which is the preseason league out here in Minnesota, and gets his goddamn mullet cut at the game. Yes,
Kittle also takes the team to the hospital.
If you get a mullet. I'm serious. They do it.
To watch them get help.
They bring in super cuts and they cut mullets for free admission. Yep. The beauty league. It's the best. The best. Anywho, is that the end of your Vikings coverage? Or is that just your day one coverage, Brad? You said you had 2 pages on this.
Pretty much day one. Do we all agree?
Yeah, well, I think we do.
We
trade down.
Cornerback.
Brad, who's your pick then? Who do you want? What do you want to see the Vikings do day one? If it was your team, what would you do at the 24th
Not even make a pick. For me, it'd be not even make a pick. Not even make a pick.
In a perfect world, in an absolutely perfect world, we package a deal and somehow Lamar Jackson's on our team tomorrow night.
Yes. That.
Other than that, if we picked up, if Porter fell to us, I'd clap. If Richardson fell to us, you'd have to take him. I'd clap.
That Brooks character that I wanted isn't even going to be available. He's going way high now.
I mean, tomorrow's the success is a trade, honestly, where we reap the benefits. Even if it's I will say it's a success if we swap our picks with San Francisco, get Trey Lance, add more picks. I think that's a successful day one. I really do.
San Fran's got a shit. Don't they have a shit ton of numbers?
And Trey Lance doesn't make you not want Lamar Jackson any less, right?
100%. He's free, basically.
Finding hope everywhere. That's what we do because we have to as Vikings fans.
Actually, would you do that trade? I think San Fran has 3 third-round picks. Would you trade the Vikings number 23 for their first pick for San Fran's either 2 or 3 of those and Trey Lance?
Well, they would never do that. That's a ridiculous amount for them.
Not without Kirk in the deal.
Right. They would have to take Kirk as well.
Well, we'd have to get more then.
And then they would have to send a player back to make the salary work. So it's a little bit more complicated than just.
They'd be fine this year with their cap, but next year they'd be screwed if they took on that dead money of Kirk. That's the problem. But
yeah,
I think you gotta trade down. You gotta be smart with it. They only have 5 picks total. It's not enough.
Yeah,
they have too many needs.
They really do.
You gotta get a second. They don't have a second round pick.
Well, but I mean, my only thing is they had a lot of picks last year, and
no, you're right. But
there
aren't 32 first round picks in the league. There's about 15, right? Yeah, and we're at 23. So if you're not getting a stud, you trade back.
Yeah, you become volume shooters at that point.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever went and looked? I was bored at work today, and I went and looked at every Vikings first round pick. It's unbelievable.
Don't do it. I love doing it, but don't do it.
No,
I'm telling you, the best day in franchise history is one of those days.
No, but I honestly think that we could put almost a full team with first day picks. Yeah, we missed on some.
The Rick Spielman era was a great. I mean, they drafted relatively well.
Yeah,
no, I mean, you go back. Williamson. There's a couple that sucked. But you look at some of our offensive lineman picks, Corey Stringer, Todd Stussy.
Well, if you go back, yeah.
Randall McDaniel, I'm talking all the way. Mid 2000s, 2012 and up, yeah, they fucking suck.
Problem is, they always pick between 18 and 26. They're never 10. They're never 8.
Well, when you're competitive, it makes it a lot more difficult to
find
value in the draft.
You're always
that's just a sign of a competitive team is picking late in the draft.
Yes, but I tell you what, when you finally have a top 7 pick and at number 6 you pick Troy fucking Williamson, are you fucking kidding me?
Hey, the guy looked really good. He did. He looked great on tape. I mean,
I guess
you're never going to hit on these guys. It's just so hard.
I saw that guy.
There were a bunch of people who thought that Justin Jefferson wasn't the best wide receiver in his class.
I saw Troy Williamson drop a 70-yard touchdown pass on the Denver side in the Denver stadium. Me and my buddy Brian saw that ball in the air, wide open, 70-yard touchdown pass from Tavares Jackson.
Yeah.
Just right through the basket. We stood up halfway, ball in the air.
How come none of us saw
the touchdown?
How come none of this was apparent to anybody before they drafted him?
I'm just all I'm saying is we celebrated.
A case of the drums would be something you would notice before you draft somebody.
Peanuts.
Actually, why do we need to fucking draft another quarterback? Just Christian Ponder's out there still. Bring him back to the team. He's got a couple good years left.
Oh yeah.
All right. So
now you're talking.
That's our day 1 draft coverage for the Vikings tomorrow. With any luck, we won't actually make a pick.
Trades.
You know who doesn't need any help? The Minnesota Twins.
I would disagree. They need a lot of help.
Well, they did win the season series against the New York Yankees for the first time in 22 years. Woo! Yeah, all right.
This is what teams
that off the back.
What teams that can't win a playoff game cheer about.
18 times straight we've lost playoff games. That's right, but we just shook the first monkey off the back. We beat the Yankees in the season series for the first time since I was 15 fucking years old. Oh boy, I'm old. I was at the game. I was at Monday's game and Tuesday's game. They were both freaking fantastic.
Tuesday's game. I think Tuesday, your birthday night, was a perfect game to go to.
Dude, I was at home at 9:05. A 6:40 start. I was at home at 9:05.
Wow.
I know. They
Parking
scored 18 runs today in an hour and 10 minutes.
Wow.
I just don't understand it. It's so fucking crazy.
I heard parking was just crazy though. That there was so many people at the games this weekend.
Actually, I could have got in for $1. There was nobody there. The weather was shit. It was cold. But you know what? Hot dogs were $1 yesterday, and I brought my own condiments. So, you know, I had everybody else was eating regular dogs, and I was eating deluxe dogs, and I felt like a fucking king. I was sitting lower level for $30. You can't fucking complain about that shit. And I walked to the stadium from my house because, you know, I live downtown. Whatever.
No big deal.
No big deal. I'm only a mile from the stadium. Anywho, Joe Ryan and Sonny Gray looked like a pretty good 1-2 for a playoff series, do they not?
Dude.
Holy smokes.
2 and 3.
Except for that first inning by Joe Ryan.
Yeah, 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Pablo's going to Cy Young.
Oh,
remember?
yeah, I forgot Pablo Lopez plays for us.
No,
I get mixed up with Jorge Lopez on occasion.
No, even like I listened to today's game on the radio because I was fucking driving, but it is impressive. Our fucking 1, 2, and 3. Joe Ryan continues to get better. His fucking fastball is nasty.
Well, and you can tell Sonny Gray put a lot of work in the offseason.
Oh, Sonny Gray is he's what I think of like a professional fucking pitcher.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
He's
he was the natural before the natural had to stop pitching.
After he got shot by New York too.
Yeah.
I've got some hope for the fucking playoffs if we get there. Because those three are going to be tough. Yeah. My AEW today showed me I'm
bullpen.
It's time to
make him the long reliever. That's the one need we have is a long reliever. We don't
put him in the bullpen.
Didn't we say that before the season even fucking started?
We thought that everybody thought that he might end up being in the bullpen just because
they're going to give him a chance.
Tommy John.
He looked fucking good his first.
He did get hit with 112 mile an hour comebacker off the leg last week. So I mean,
he came out.
I give him one more start. Give him one more start.
No, he'll probably get another start. And no, I think Culver's right on that. He did come out of the fucking gates looking like what we got a couple of years ago. But
but that's the first month of the season when hitters are at their worst. So
and I'm sorry, like right now, turn him into a long reliever. We've got fucking Bailey Ober waiting.
And fucking DFA Pagan. Fucking get Pagan the fuck out of here. Am I right?
Ober is a solid 5. Ober is a stud. They keep sending him down. He's a stud though.
No, I think with this outing by Maeda today, Ober's going to be getting a call up sooner than midsummer or whatever to be that fucking 4 or 5. And that's a good rotation with Molly being our 4, Ober our 5. You still got Cole Sands who needs to figure his shit out. But pitching it's weird to say. Pitching
best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
On this team.
I mean, well, since Johan Santana, Francisco Liriano before Francisco got hurt.
No, and I think
Jack Morris, 91. Yeah, that would be the best.
No, I think once July rolls around, we've got some prospect depth too. I think we're going to trade for a bullpen arm in fucking July just to solidify things. Because we've got
we got to make room for a goddamn great hitter that's at St. Paul right now in Alex Kirilloff. I mean, he's got 3 homers. Oh my God, he's fucking raking out there. He's smashing the ball, absolutely smashing the ball.
That wrist isn't going to hold up.
He's got 3 dingers and 19 ABs. He's hitting 421. He's got a 522 on base percentage and a 947 slugging percentage. It all adds up to a 1469 OPS. Not too shabby.
Good.
I think we'll probably end up either DFA and Nick Gordon or just sending down Willie Castro. Just sending down Willie Castro is what we'll do.
Castro makes sense because he's technically an outfielder.
Right.
And so Kirilloff's going to be playing left or first. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Joey Gallo at first base.
I am too. Yep.
And
he's hitting the ball. Did he go yard again today?
Probably.
Yeah.
No, your guys' butt boy Miranda went yard twice.
Oh, I hope he had him in my fantasy lineup. So shit, I might have sat him today. Son of a bitch. Don't sleep on the Twins.
they've got some difficult decisions to make because they're going to have to, by midsummer, we've got to open up room in the outfield. I think it kind of sucks that your boy Michael Taylor is overperforming.
Michael A. Will you give the man respect? Michael A.
Well, no, because we've got these players ready to come up, and it's
Michael A's been playing his butt off for us. He's been the best. He's been the best outfielder we got,
except for
the one who's designated hitter. Yeah, exactly. You can't.
Well, no,
and he hasn't even been that good. Michael A. Taylor's been the better bat than Byron Buxton up until yesterday when he hit that bomb, and I thought he was back the moment he hit that bomb.
See, it depends what you're looking at.
I'm looking at the best outfielder defensively that we have, and one of the better bats that we've had for the first month of the season. He's been the most reliable player that we've got, besides maybe Carlos Correa. He's the best offseason pickup we had.
Donovan Solano.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but to disregard what Larnach has done this year is kind of a slap in the face to Larnach.
And Pablo Lopez only pitches every fifth day. Michael A. Taylor goes out there every day. Every day.
Larnach has earned a spot on the fucking Twins roster.
I think
agree.
Him and Gallo have to play.
Yeah, no,
they're kind of the same guy.
Yeah, they are, but they're both there to stay, and they can, play corner outfield spots or.
I think Larnach's better than Kirilloff.
Well, we're going to find out. I mean, we got to find out. Kirilloff can't be sitting at fucking St. Paul all goddamn month hitting goddamn 3 homers every
He's going to come up. He's going to play 3 series, and he's going to fuck up his wrist again. And
there's Brad the pessimist.
He was doing that at
just
Double A,
wasn't on the Twins season in April again. God damn.
Kirilloff was doing that at Double A.
Here's the deal. We're what? Timeout. We're what? 3 fucking games above 500 in the shittiest fucking division in baseball.
That's right.
Come on.
Triple A?
Yeah, we're going to make the playoffs, Brad. You don't understand.
All I hear is first in the division.
Okay,
that's right. That's right. We're going to host a fucking playoff series, Brad. That's what I hear. That's what Mike hears. That's what Tyler hears. You're the only one not hearing.
Against the Yankees, and we beat the Yankees this year. That's it.
One time. I want is one win against the Yankees.
We took a series against the fucking Astros, too, who I still think are the best team in baseball.
Brad, let me get this straight. You get excited about the Vikings winning the Super Bowl every year? Is that right? You get excited. You think they have a chance. The losingest team, the fucking pant-wetting shit, just big game pant-wetting Vikings.
What's your point?
They just lose. They lose big games. They've never indicated. They've never given him a reason.
Fucking NFL history.
They've never given you a reason to believe in them. And the Twins have given you a reason to believe in them 2 times. And you believe in the Vikings more than you believe in the Twins to win a world championship. Baseball is a way more random. Well, I guess that's not true. Actually, the better team tends to win the baseball playoffs, except for the wild card. But, we got a shot. Once we make the playoffs, we got a shot. Things happen. You never know.
So
all I want to do is win one playoff game. I mean, your expectations are way too high, I think. Like, we just want to win one of 19 playoff games. Like, if we could avoid going 0-20 in the playoffs consecutively.
Your expectations are too low, sir.
I mean, hey, I think they're right where they need to be.
If they win, if they come out game 1 in the wild card round and they fucking win, I'm back on the bandwagon. Right now, it's
all right. So we only got 150 games to go until you're on the bandwagon.
More like 138, but
okay.
More like a chuck wagon.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to the end of the wild season.
Once the Vikings are 5-0 and the Twins are in the playoffs, I might root for them.
Remember all that hope we had for the Wild? Remember that team?
I still have the hope.
It's
not dead yet.
It's not dead yet. Oh, it's dead. And the refs killed it. Actually, Byron Buxton and Carlos Correa might have killed it. They showed up to get the game started on game 3 in St. Paul, and the Wild haven't won since. Marcus Foligno got screwed in both games. Got penalties called against him. They weren't. Well, I mean, some of them are penalties, and some of them weren't. But no, I think you got to call a tripping penalty on the knee, but it wasn't a knee. He didn't hit the guy in the knee. It's a tripping penalty. It should have been a minor tripling penalty. Instead, he gets a misconduct for the whole game, and there goes our game 5 chances.
The one before that was even fucking bullshit when he came off the fucking bench.
Yeah, when he runs into the bench and he's got his nose bleeding and takes an elbow to the face, but then ends up getting the only one in the box for a tripping penalty.
No, I'm talking about the one where they did a line change and he came from the bench. The guy touches the puck.
Oh, I guess I didn't see that one.
He fucking smears him.
Yeah. Well, he's not going to be suspended. He's going to play, but the Wild are still without Joel Eriksson-Ek, which makes me wonder why the hell did you even have him on the roster if you knew he was going to be able to play until the end of the series?
Fair enough.
I mean,
it's not just
that's not helping Ryan Hartman at all because Ryan Hartman's been hurt and now we're running short. We don't have enough players.
The officiating has been fucking shit.
God awful. I agree with you there, and I think everybody does.
It's the fucking playoffs, man.
But also, the Wild's 2 leading scorers, Kirill Kaprizov and Matt Boldy, have been absent. Just haven't done enough. Apparently, Pete DeBoer has a means of defending Kirill the Thrill because he's held him to a combined 3 goals and 4 points in 12 playoff games, according to the Athletics' Joe Smith, which is, pretty good. And Boldy has 3 points in the series.
Boldy hasn't been as aggressive though.
Well, he can't be right.
And here's the thing too: is yes, it's a hard fucking game, whatnot. Right now in the playoffs, you can't just put shots on goal.
Oh yes, you have to against this team.
What I'm saying, yes,
shot passes, deflections. You need to get it on somebody's stick in the air.
On some of these, I mean, they're going right to the guy's chest.
But Ottinger's too good at rebound control. He's a great goalie. I'm telling you, you have to win the shots. You got to be a volume shooting team that stays out of the fucking penalty box. I said it before the series started. You take penalties against this team, you will pay. They've given up 9 power play goals and have only scored 4 and had 18 opportunities on the power play. They just have not been the better special teams.
Yeah, so what? Nine of the 14 fucking goals the Stars have scored in this series have been on the power play.
Yeah.
I mean,
I told you this was going to happen.
Yeah, but they can't
stay out of the box.
Yeah, but you can't call it both ways. So you can't want a team to be the most physical team and not expect penalties.
That's true. You're right, but it doesn't mean that you can fucking allow 9 power play goals on the penalty kill either.
I'm not disagreeing with that. But you still haven't
addressed. If you're going to be in the box, you've got to have a penalty kill that can get you out.
Still haven't addressed Brad's point of fucking poor shot selection. If you're going to throw the puck at the net, don't throw it in the middle of the fucking goalie's chest. Pick a fucking bar and go for it.
A bunch of people who have never played the sport talking about how easy it is to fucking put a shot on goal.
Oh my God, we're talking about a bunch of sports we've never fucking played professionally. Like
if you're gonna do Tony,
you played it amateur. You played baseball. You understand the game. You never played a hockey game.
I played 3-on-3 hockey in Bozeman.
You put a shot on goal, Tony. You need to have somebody on the other side.
That's our show. I'd like to thank you for joining us. This has been Minnesota Foul Play-by-Play.